Last week was probably the most frustrating one in this entire challenge. I had plenty of opportunities, including a setup that missed my entry by literally 0.3 pips, and then it went straight to the take profit. Despite all that, I ended up with 2 break-evens and 1 loss. Therefore, the week closed in the red, and the account balance is now sitting at around $7,000. If you're new here, about 2 months ago, I started this challenge where I am trying to grow a real personal $5,000 account to $10,000, and I'm documenting the entire process here on YouTube. This week I want to bounce back strong, stay disciplined, and continue executing only high quality setups. We're still in the game and still on the path towards the goal, so let's see how this week plays out. And as I promised in the beginning of this challenge, if I manage to hit the $10,000 target, I'll also be doing a giveaway for you guys. Just finished the first London session of this new week, and I had nothing to execute. I had some potentials though over here on UK 100. On the 1 hour, price liquidated this very low, gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it, and then on the 5 minute it gave an aggressive shift right here with a full body closure. But first of all, the TP would have been past the opposite liquidity level, and that's why I didn't enter. And even if it wouldn't have been past the opposite liquidity level, I wouldn't have entered because this VVG right here was too small, okay? And besides, on euro dollar over here, things were looking great on the higher time frames. It liquidated this very high, gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it at one point, and it also entered this H1 supply over here where it initially reacted from. And therefore on the 5 minute over here, I was waiting for a bearish shift that, as we can see, never came. Okay, euro dollar was very bullish during this London session. It continued upwards, and therefore I had nothing to execute. All right, so the stock exchange just opened a couple minutes ago, and it opened with some good volume. Over here, I already had an opportunity on gold, but I didn't take it, and I will tell you now exactly why. So on the 1 hour, it liquidated this very high. It gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it, but the thing is, on the 5 minute, if we go, we can see that the move has already happened, okay? And therefore I won't take the setup here, okay, on gold. Next up on US 30, on the 1 hour, it liquidated this very low over here. It gave a beautiful H1 sweep confluence, but over here I need to wait 17 more minutes for the confluence to be confirmed. Therefore, on the 5 minute now, if it will confirm the aggressive shift, I also have 2 very good looking VVGs. However, I won't enter this setup, okay, because I don't have the higher time frame confluence confirmed. Next up on GJ, price just liquidated this very low, and again I need to wait for the beautiful H1 sweep confluence to be confirmed. Apart from that, I don't have any other higher time frame confluence, and if I will have this one confirmed on the 5 minute, I'll be done looking for a bullish shift. And besides that, everything else is currently in between. So Nasdaq is in between, USHF is in between, GU is in between, and euro dollar is also in between. And besides, we also have some news in 17 minutes from now, so another reason for me to be careful with this US 30 potential, okay? If I would have had the higher time frame confluence confirmed, then yes, I would have most likely taken this setup. But the thing is, over here, this is my only potential confluence because, as we can see, price didn't liquidate this low over here, okay? It didn't liquidate it, and therefore I have no other higher time frame confluence. So yeah, I'm gonna keep you guys updated either way. So I am done trading for today. I didn't take any setups during New York either. I had an opportunity here on Nasdaq where on the 1 hour, price liquidated this high, entered this H1 supply plus an H4 fair value gap. But on the 5 minute, as we can see, the shift never came. On US 30, I had a potential here. On the 1 hour, price liquidated this low, gave a beautiful H1 sweep, also had an H4 plus daily fair value gap confluence, and on the 5 minute it gave a shift right here, and entry would have been on this VVG, but due to the fact that I had another smaller VVG over here, the stop loss should have been below this low here, and therefore the TP would be past the opposite liquidity level, and that's why I didn't take it. And real quick, let me show you the account balance as well, so you can see that it's in the same place as last week. Let me show you the settings so you can see it's the real account. And lastly, on GJ, I had another potential. On the 1 hour, we already know that it liquidated the low and we were waiting for a bullish shift. The bullish shift came, but the TP would have been past the opposite liquidity level. Therefore, I looked left and I identified the new low, and in the meantime the high was liquidated as well, gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it, but on the 5-minute it failed to give me a aggressive shift. And besides, on the other pairs I already deleted everything because there was nothing really to talk about. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. It is Tuesday now and I just finished the London session. The good part is that I was able to avoid a loss here. The bad part was that I didn't execute anything. Okay, so another London session with no trade this week. Over here on UK 100, it liquidated this valid high. It entered this H1 supply, and on the 5-minute it gave me a shift over here. But because it wasn't a aggressive shift with a full body closure below this low, I didn't enter on this VVG, and as we can see, it was the right decision because the stop loss would have been hit. Apart from this, I haven't seen anything else, so it was a pretty boring London session. Now I'm gonna head to the gym, and after that I'm gonna have lunch, and later today I will get back to you guys with an update after the New York session. I am done trading for today, and I'm a bit annoyed because this was the only setup that I took, and as you guys can see, it literally stopped me out and then it went straight to the TP, and therefore my balance is now at $6,357. Let me show you the settings so you can see it's the real account. And let me show you why I took this setup. So on the 1 hour, it liquidated this high, entered this H4 supply where it beautifully reacted from. And on the 5-minute, it gave an aggressive shift right here that looked very on point, with a good VVG as well, some liquidations beforehand as well, and that's a really good added confluence. But as we can see, I entered right here, my stop loss was hit right here, and then it went straight to the TP. And besides this, I was able to avoid a loss here on euro dollar, where on the 1 hour it liquidated this low, gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it, and on the 5-minute it gave me a shift right here, but it wasn't a very good shift. I mean, this high here wasn't really the high I was looking for. It was this one here. That's the high that I wanted to see price break, and it broke only that one. And the volume didn't really look amazing, right? The intention didn't look clear, and therefore I didn't enter, and it was the right decision, okay? Because this would have been another loss. And on gold, over here on the 1 hour, price liquidated this low, it entered a daily demand, and as we can see, it reacted to it very beautifully. And on the 5-minute, it just failed to give a shift till 7 p.m. 7 p.m. was over here, it failed to give me the bullish shift, and therefore I had nothing to enter on. So yeah, the only trade of today was this one right here, and I'm a bit upset because it's another annoying trade, similar to all the break-evens we had. For example, we had literally 5 break-evens in the last 3 weeks, so that's literally 10 R only from that. We had this trade that could have easily been a winner, so another 2 R. We also had the trade on USHF from last week that missed the entry by 0.3 pips and then went straight to the TP, another 2 R. That's literally 14 R in 3 weeks. I'm not saying that it should have all gone in my favor, but based on probabilities, at least 50% of that could have been in my favor, and that would have meant around 7 R. And with that 7 R, I would have been already at the $10,000 target, but instead, here I am. And I'm not saying this to try and find any excuses. I'm gonna continue this challenge. I'm a bit upset because I don't think it's likely for me to hit the target till the Christmas. And that's a goal for me for this challenge. And the chances are getting slimmer and slimmer now that I made a step back on this challenge, but I will still keep my hopes high. And we'll just see as we go. It is Wednesday now. The stock exchange will open in a couple minutes. I got back from the gym, had the shower, and right after I got out of the shower, I got notified that this TP right here was hit on German 30. Let me show you the balance now. It is now sitting at 7,517. Let me go on the settings so you can see it's the real account. On this trade, I was able to close a $1,150 profit. Because I didn't enter right here, I entered when the price was already in drawdown, and I will tell you now exactly why. So on the 1 hour, price liquidated this valid high, and it entered this H1 plus H4 supply, so very, very good looking higher time frame confluences. And besides, I also saw a head and shoulder pattern. This is the left shoulder, this is the head, and this is the right shoulder. That combined with the higher time frame confluence gave me confidence that this setup could go in my way. However, on the 5 minute, when the shift happened, I hesitated because essentially the entry would have been past the London session, and therefore I firstly thought to not enter it. But then when I was on my way to the gym, I checked the charts again and I saw that price was reacting over here bearish. And when I saw that, I decided to enter. It played around a bit more in drawdown, and then it head back down and it smashed the TP. And I'm really happy that it played out this way. And the reason I'm talking fast is because the stock exchange is literally open in 1 minute, and now I will go on the charts and make the analysis for the New York Open, and very soon I will get back to you guys. It is almost 7 p.m. now, a couple minutes left until the lunch hour, and what an active session it was today. I am in 2 trades, both running at around the entry price right now. And real quick, let me tell you why I took them. So on the 1 hour over here on UCHEF, price liquidated this low, gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it. And on the 5 minute, it gave an aggressive shift right here at the beginning of the session. It also liquidated this low beforehand, so that was a good added confluence. And I entered on this VVG, and before entering, I of course sent this trade in my community as well. And on that note, if you are interested in it and you would like to work with me one-on-one, gain access to the private community where I send all the day trades I am taking in real time from Monday through Friday, you can apply for it by clicking the first link down below. And as we can see, it went to the TP1, but then it retraced back to the entry price. And if it will continue like this, I will most likely close it at the entry price soon. But of course, I will keep you guys updated on it. The second one is on Eurodollar, that is also at around the entry price right now. Over here on the 1 hour, price liquidated this valid high. It entered a valid H1 supply where it reacted from. And on the 5 minute, it gave an aggressive shift right here. When the setup became valid, I sent it in my community as well. Then I placed it, and now it's playing at around the entry price. And same story over here. If it continues like this, I will most likely close it because I don't really like holding up trades too late, especially knowing that today was already a good day with the win that I had on German 30. Okay. Next up on GBP/USD, over here I was able to avoid taking a loss. Over here on the 1 hour, price liquidated this high over here, and it entered this H1 plus daily supply. Let me go on the daily as well so you guys can see it. It's this supply over here, and on the 5 minute it gave a very good looking shift, but the entry would have triggered before the stock exchange opened, 20 minutes before the stock exchange opened to be more exact, and therefore I didn't enter. Next up on US 30, here maybe I could have a potential, but in a couple minutes it's 7 p.m. so I doubt that, but if I will definitely let you guys know. On the 1 hour over here, price liquidated this high, gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it, and it also entered this daily VVG. And now on the 5 minute, I am waiting for a bearish aggressive shift. But like I said, I think I'm running out of time and I won't have a setup. Over here, GJ stayed in between the liquidity levels for the entire session. It liquidated this high, but due to the fact that I had no higher time frame confluences, I looked left and I identified the new high, and I can delete everything because I will for sure have no setups over there. Same story over here on NASDAQ. And same story over here on gold as well. I'm back, just had dinner, and now I am back at you guys with an update. As we can see, Eurodollar and UCHEF both went towards the stop loss, but I decided to close them at the entry price. As mentioned in the previous update, I closed Eurodollar right here when it went back at the entry, and UCHEF right here when it played around for around 20 minutes at the entry price right after I ended the update for you guys, the previous update. And now the balance is a bit lower than it previously was. It's right at $7,500. And the settings, as you can see, it's the real account. And on US 30, remember I told you guys I was waiting for a bearish shift. The setup came in right here, literally in the last minute. But because it wasn't a clear closure below this low, and also because the VVG was too small, I didn't enter, and it is safe to say that over here I was able to avoid another loss. So overall it was a good day, a +2 hour day. With the win I was able to secure on German 30. I'm happy that I was able to avoid these two losses over here, but the signs were clear. it just played around too much around the entry price. The volume was super low, and therefore I decided to close both trades at the entry price. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. It is Thursday now, it is 3 p.m. and the reason I am filming this update so late, it's because literally 20 minutes I arrived back home. I had such a full day so far. I went to get my hair cut, and after that I went to the gym, and then I went back home, and in the same time it was a very active London session as well. And as you can see, I was able to catch this beautiful TP right here on USHF. This trade I entered it right before leaving for the barber at around 10 a.m. And besides this, I've entered another trade, this one on euro dollar, that unfortunately hit my break even, and this one I entered when I was driving towards the gym. But don't worry, I will tell you exactly how I identified those trades. Let me show you the balance real quick as well. I made another step towards the target. I'm now at $8,500, as you guys can see. Let me show you the settings as well. With some luck, if this euro dollar trade would have fit the TP, I would have been at $9,500, but it is what it is. It's still a very, very good day so far, and also a very good week. And now let me tell you how I identified these two setups. So on USHF, on the 1 hour, price liquidated this high. It gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it, and on the 5 minute, it gave an aggressive shift right here, but the entry would have been before the London session opened, okay? And when the London session opened, when I saw this bearish volume, that's when I decided to enter. The main reason was that the higher time frame trend was also in my favor. If we go on the 1 hour, we can see that USHF is in a big downtrend. Okay, so that gave me the confidence to pull the trigger and take this setup, even though it triggered before the London Open. I entered it right here, then I left for the barber. It went in profit, it went back in drawdown, and then when it went to the TP, I legit didn't have time to move my stops because I was driving. Besides this one on euro dollar, over here on the 1 hour, price liquidated this valid high, and it entered this H4 fair value gap where it reacted from. We also had a beautiful H1 sweep on this valid high. And real quick, why didn't I take this as a valid low? Because as we can see, price liquidated and it gave a setup from it pre-open. Okay, that's why I looked left and I identified my new low over here. And then on the 5 minute, I waited for a bearish shift. Over here, the entry was super textbook. It came in right here with very good bearish volume, very good looking FVG. And over here, I entered with a market execution because I was afraid to miss the setup, because I entered it whilst I was driving. I entered it with the market execution, and then I placed my stop and break and TP. And it went all the way to like 1.5 R in profit, and then it went back to break even. Typical EU, it's like the 4th trade on euro dollar in the last 3 weeks that does this. But it is what it is. I'm not complaining because it's still a good day. And besides this, I had one more potential over here, and this would have been the most beautiful setup of this week, but it wasn't valid, and I will tell you exactly why. So on the 1 hour, things were looking great. It liquidated the slow, gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it, but on the 5 minute, as we can see, it gave a weak shift. It gave a weak shift right here. Everything else was on point, right? The volume was looking good. The FVG was also looking good. The only thing that missed was the closure above this high over here, and it would have been a valid A+ setup, but unfortunately it wasn't. And as we can see, it would have triggered right here, and look at this beautiful, beautiful reaction to the FVG. It would have been such a beautiful trade, but I'm not complaining. Once again, it's a great day and a great week so far. We made some really good progress, and who knows, maybe during this New York session, if things go well, maybe I'll be able to hit another winner. And to be honest, I was thinking, guys, if I see a trade with like a very good volume that's running very hard towards the TP, maybe I might adjust the TP from 2RR to 3RR, because if it will hit it, I will be at the $10,000 target within the next trade. But of course, I will keep you guys updated if I'll decide to do that. And also, knowing how profitable this week was so far, I was thinking maybe to end this week after today. Okay, tomorrow is Friday anyways, and usually very rarely I have a profitable Friday anyways, and that's why I was thinking maybe to end the week a bit earlier. But nonetheless, I will keep you guys updated and I will let you know when I will decide. All right, so the stock exchange has opened and I have my eyes on Dow Jones now, where I just placed a sell limit. Let me show you guys as well over here, but I might delete it in the upcoming minutes, because as we can see, it gave me a second FVG, and this FVG right here is too tiny. Okay, on the 1 hour, this one liquidated this high, it entered this H1 plus H4 fair value gap, and it also might give a beautiful H1 sweep confluence, but on the 5 minute, this VVG right here is just too tiny. Besides, on GBP USD, over here on the 1 hour, price liquidated this high, and we might have a beautiful H1 sweep. In a couple minutes, I'll find out for sure. If I will, then on the 5 minute, I'll be looking for a bearish aggressive shift. And apart from that, all the other pairs don't present anything interesting right now. Just enter the final trading hour of today, and I might have another opportunity over here on GU, where on the 1 hour, price liquidated a pretty good looking high. I'm talking about this one over here. And it entered this H1 unmitigated supply, and it reacted to it very beautifully, as we can see. We also have a beautiful H1 sweep confluence because it closed below, and now on the 5 minute, I am patiently waiting for a bearish shift. Over here, it is safe to say that we might have avoided a loss. As things look like now, the price has a bigger chance, in my opinion, to climb up over here where the stop loss would have been than to go back down over here where the TP would have been. Okay, and besides, everything else is pretty boring. Nothing else besides GU right now, and to be honest, I think this will be the final trading day of this week, knowing how profitable of a week it was so far during the London session. Tomorrow being Friday, I would like to play it safe and lock in the profits after this final trading hour of today. It is 7 p.m. and I didn't take any other setups. Over here on GU, price gave an aggressive shift indeed. An entry would have been here on the second VVG. However, I didn't place it and I didn't send it in my community because price slowed down significantly over here, and it made no sense. Besides, on gold, price liquidated this high, and I waited for the confirmation of the beautiful H1 sweep. Looks like we have it, but it is pointless because on the 5 minute, I don't have a bearish shift. And yeah, that was pretty much it for today's New York session. It was a okay session, I would say, in terms of volume, but overall, it was a great day. It was a great day today. Overall, it was a great week as well, and I'm very, very happy about it. And because of that, I decided to end the week right here and skip tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday, and Fridays usually are slow days anyways, and there's no point for me to risk it, knowing that this week was already very good. And the account is now sitting at the same $8,509. Let me go over the settings so you can see it's the real account. This is where we are ending this week. A very, very good progress. I'm very happy with it. I think it was the most profitable week we had in this challenge so far. And who knows, maybe next week, if we continue with the good volume, we might get the account to $10,000. But stay tuned and you will find out. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel and also turn the notification bell to get notified next week when the next episode will be uploaded. Until then, if you guys want to see a video where I talk about my journey as a trader from the start till the present moment, feel free to watch the video that will pop on the screen now. Trust me, you have a lot to learn from it. And that being said, I want to wish you all the best and take care.